everyone. I'm Taavet. I'm co-founder of TransferWise, and also together with Martin from Taxify and Good Deed Foundation, we launched something pretty cool last year called the Education Fund. So we were discussing about couple Estonian educational initiatives and kind of felt that there's some things that we should be doing to help Estonia, and education is something which is pretty important. So from the Estonian startup community, we were able to put together €1 million, and we launched something called the Good Deed Education Fund end of last year. And it's an amazing learning journey for me and everyone involved. And now, as part of the Education Fund, we're having a pitch contest for finding the best initiative to help along in the STEAM education part. So we have 5 companies or 5 teams coming to pitch. There's 99 Math, DesignSTEM, Heilo Altin, First Lego League, and Superheroes Level Up. So we will each have 3 minutes to pitch, and then we have 3-minute QA. I'll probably ask one question myself, and then everyone in the audience is welcome to ask, but we have to keep it short. So without spending more time, let's get this started. So first up will be 99 Math, Tõnis Kusmin. So Tõnis, the floor is yours.
Hi, hello. So let's talk about math. How was your experience with math in school? Think about the classes. Was it easy for you? Was it enjoyable? I did well in math, so I was fine, but I saw many other students that did not enjoy it, and it was very hard for them. And at the same time, as a society, we need a lot of people who know math well. We need it for sciences, technology, financial fields. So that's one side of the problem. If we look at the teachers' problems, then it always comes down to time. They prepare lessons for 7 hours each week, and then they spend 5 hours grading student homework, and we decided to help with that. So I built an education product before, and I saw an opportunity how we could help. I put a team together, and we built an MVP that would give ready-made exercises for students to solve, and then it would evaluate the exercises as well, so teachers wouldn't have to grade the work. We showed it to teachers, and they loved it. They rated it 9 out of 10, and they immediately wanted to use it in the classrooms. So now they are using it 400 times per week. But that's the teacher side, right? The students see it as a game. They like this game so much that they are asking for teachers to play that again and again in the classrooms. They even use this tool, they use this teacher tool at home to play with friends. And this is an MVP. What we really need to build is a product with learning analytics, with a lot more exercises that will already tell the teachers what level the students are at, how they are progressing, and have exercises as next steps. For the students, we want to give this engaging feeling. We also did a fun event, Math Game Day, and we've actually had 14,000 students being online and competing against other schools in who can solve math exercises the fastest. Now I'm here to apply for funding to build this entire product with that learning analytics. Now, as a big picture in society, we are talking about STEM, and math is the basis for all of it. Sciences, technology, engineering. We need Estonian students to like math and be really good in math. And we have something that has clicked with teachers and students, and now we want to build the entire product. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tõnis. I mean, looks like you've done something pretty amazing. You've made math sexy again.
Yeah. Great again, yeah.
I have a question. Do you think there is something that is only math-specific here, or if it works for math, can we extend it to biology, physics, and all the other complicated topics out there?
Yeah, we thought about that. It's probably easiest to extend it to physics and chemistry. It can be used in other sciences as well, but we would rather spend a bit more time to build the gamification model out entirely, so the math curriculum would be so engaging, and then start to extend it to other subjects.
Cool. Thank you. Do we have questions here? I see over there.
Yeah, Thomas here. So, Tõnis. I have a question for you. So the math is the beginning, but have you thought about engaging with the different subjects together? Like David has a question. And the second question is a quick one. What is the age for this project?
Age group?
Yeah.
Yeah. From 1st to 6th grade for now. We're extending it to 8th grade and then beyond that as well. I didn't quite get your first question. Combining math with something. So for now it's very pure math, and the way we make it engaging is with gamification or human-centered design, so achievement would feel good. And how we help the person to feel good is giving the person exercises that are exactly on her level. So not too easy, that would be boring, not too hard, that would be disengaging as well.
Okay, and what do you think about Khan Academy? Because it seems like a very similar product, especially targeting high school kids.
All right, so Khan Academy is trying to flip the classroom. They give lectures to see at home, and then they come in the classroom to practice where the teacher is present and you can ask questions. So it's a bit different from what we are doing. We are taking these math exercises and gamifying these, whether or not they make it, they exercise at home or at school. And it's rather more similar to Kahoot, actually, where the teacher can create the game, each student joins in their own device, and they compete against each other who can solve the fastest.
And time for one last question.
Priit from Tartu. Why are you the right person to actually make this a total success?
So I've been building this other edtech solution before, and I've learned a lot about edtech space. I managed to build a very good solution that teachers actually love. However, I did not manage to build a very good monetization model for that. With that one, I see the chance to build a monetization model as well. We are not there yet, but for sure, we can build something that can scale. My last product wasn't able to do that.
Thank you very much. Let's give a big round of applause. Next up, we have DesignSTEM 2.0, and Kristjan Jansen will be presenting it.
Hi, I'm Kristjan, and I'm here to talk about DesignSTEM educational initiative and the web framework we're creating to create this new kind of learning experiences. So today we have heard a lot about problems in education, but a lot of seems to revolve around the engagement, the way or capability of the students to be interested and being focused on particular subject matter. We keep adding with new technologies as we go, but we shouldn't actually obsolete the old ones. We actually use all of them to have this kind of multidisciplinary view of, for example, complex STEM topic. Our framework allows you have learning objects in 2D, 3D, print them out on paper, analog, digital, connected IoT devices, see it in VR, AR. We all have to augment each other to provide this consistent multi-view learning flow up and down in ladder of abstraction. Secondly, we believe that learning tools have to be breakable. You have to be being able to see inside how they are made. You should be able to make your own versions, to fork them. Students, teachers, it doesn't matter. things which I can't create, I don't understand, which is what Richard Feynman once said. Let's even move beyond the creation. Let's move to creative destruction. You should actually break your student learning objects for sake of bringing them to places nobody have ever imagined, to unlock this creative potential in students and teachers. So those are just some of ideas how education and e-education can improve. Currently, we are with a framework, we are in MVP stage, and with this initiative, we are building around dozens of small mini courses on top of that framework. But we're actually extending into the new topics. We're combining math and music, do some creative AI experiments. The current mini courses are being under tested in 10 countries of Europe. We are planning to launch it to 1,000 students and teachers in upcoming years in Estonia. And the whole thing is open source project. So all kinds of contributions are welcome. Code, ideas, comments, documentation. So this is a call to arms. And even you can use one particular element of, I'm talking with the previous guy, just take one particular element, we have hundreds of them, to use in any kind of web project. So thank you, this is call to arms, let's build the future of learning together. Thank you.
Back where you are. This is very exciting. I am a little bit confused. So you said you are right now trialing it, then you said you're still building the MVP, kind of like, where are you now, and where do you want to be like in 12 months?
We have like 2 projects. One of them is below the stack, which supports all the learning experience we're creating, and then there are top one. The lower one is the open source part of a stack, and I want this to be continued for tens of years. The top one is kind of coming and going. We have a team of creating those mini courses, but we want to have a nice set of examples and the community actually create the new ones. Teachers, students, whoever.
Okay, makes sense. Question over there.
Hi, sounds interesting. What I'm curious to hear is who do you see as your customers and how will you make money with this?
Again, 2 parts, right? The lower one is open source project and it doesn't have to be make money as such. The top ones, our target group currently is from 16 to 25. Those are the design students. We want to help to learn difficult STEM subjects. But we are moving beyond that, and we're going to be different kinds of age groups. So this allows to make anything to anybody.
Another question, please. Well, if we do not have another question, then we're going to move on to the next person. Thank you. Thank you. Next up, there is going to be Ede Tamkivi talking about Hyppelaud, and I'm very sorry, but she bribed me earlier with a Hyppelaud t-shirt. This is a mistake. Ede, please.
Hi, I'm Ede. I didn't actually plan this, but this worked out just fine for me. Thank you, David. So I'm here to present Hyppelaud, which is a hands-on program to nurture entrepreneurship in Estonian school kids by employing latest technology and being mentored by world-class professionals. There are currently around 130,000 kids in the age range of 10 to 19 in Estonia, so they will be the workforce of the future. But we don't really know what kind of jobs they will be having in 5 to 10 years. But one thing is for sure, most or many of these kids will probably have to create these jobs for themselves, therefore become entrepreneurs. And a study conducted in the UK over the span of 40 years showed that the kids who had some sort of entrepreneurial experience during their school studies, for example, building a student company, were twice as likely to build their own companies in the future. or at least they were much more active in the workforce. And Estonia hails itself as a very IT-savvy country. Yet, in many schools, we see that there's no technology used in the classrooms, therefore kids get really bored and they get false expectations about IT once they enter the universities, and the dropout rate in the first year of their studies is the highest in Europe. So, to overcome these issues, 3 years ago we came up with a Hyppelaud summer school format, which is a one-week program. Kids of the age range of 14 to 19 come with their own ideas they would like to solve, like problems from their real life. They present their ideas, form teams, and over the span of 5 days, they work in teams, being mentored by these world-class professionals, mostly from Estonian startups, and by the end of the week, they will have built some sort of a prototype, either being a hardware or a software product, which also gives them a good experience in presenting their ideas. And as a next move, we want to take this program back to schools to sort of lighten the load of our teachers, as well as give the business professionals an opportunity to have a say in the future of the country. Therefore, we see our initiative as building a sort of a bridge between the public and the private sector. And also, we would like to see more cooperation between different education initiatives, like all my nice colleagues here. And as a good example of that, tomorrow I would like all of you to come and join us for the kids area, which will be spread around this building, and where we are cooperating with Vivita and Education Accelerator. So thank you.
So thank you, Ede. I'm well familiar with the format of the summer school, but how will it work in the schools? Can you explain that quickly?
That's a good question. So again, a lot of talk has been today about the teachers being overloaded by new materials, new initiatives. So obviously it's a big thing to ask of them to, let's employ yet another program. But this is where the business professionals come in. So they come into schools, and as the studies have shown, it also offers a good, being good role models for the students. So we will be working hand in hand with the companies, and we will be the intermediator between the schools and the companies.
Okay, so over to the fine people here with questions. I see a lot of questions.
If you have more questions, let us know.
So a question from Tartu.
Thank you. Hi, thank you for the pitch. I visited Bali Green School in January, which is considered one of the most innovative schools in the world. And there they have like a constant garage set up for constant prototyping and it's a mindset in schools. So what is your experience from this Hyppelaud program, and maybe from your visions for the future of this program? Could this be integrated in Estonian schools as something like very that it's in there in the curriculum in a permanent basis, or is it something more like just the one subject or topic? I mean like project-based learning and do learning by doing attitude.
So I would see it mostly as combining different topics at school. So again, breaching those overarching different topics at school. So we can, by building a project, or it is actually a project-based learning, so building your own project, you can entail so many different topics into that. So I guess that's the answer. I can hear you.
You can hear me. Okay, thank you. So what I don't understand, or what I don't know, is that how do you monetize it? Who gets paid, and who doesn't get paid? So I would like to understand how much money is needed in order to support this kind of system. So
So far, we've been supported by entrepreneurs and private persons. So, and starting this year, we also get some support from state funds. So you have to work for 3 years as a private initiative, and then the state comes along. So, and in the future, I also see the combination of both the private and the public sector in funding.
So the mentors are here for free? Or?
So far, I would say all the mentors have done it for free, yes. So thank you to all our mentors.
Fantastic. And a big thank you to Ede.
Thank you.
Next up, we have First Lego League. And please, Heilo.
Hello, hello. My name is Heilo. It sounds like hello in English, very easy to remember. And I present an organization called Robotica. I don't need to emphasize that in the world, in Europe, in Estonia, we're lacking engineers. You all know that. There are several studies available that say that how many thousands of software programmers could be hired tomorrow. And we're missing them. We thought 10 years ago when we started with educational robotics that we can solve this problem. We can take the robots, put them into schools, and every time kid touches a robot, few years they will want to make a career in software development or to become an engineer. It didn't happen. We understood that we did a mistake somewhere, and it was that it's not in everybody's DNA to become a programmer. They want to be different kind of life challenges, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. What we understood where the problem is that we are not offering everybody a chance to become a programmer. We might have a great kid in Võrumaa school and never become in touch with programming or robots and never know if something good will happen. So from that point, we actually came up that we should offer as many kids in Estonia as possible opportunity to play and learn with robots, already starting in kindergarten. How do we do that? We have educational programs with robots called First Lego League and First Lego League Junior, and they develop analytical, teamwork, complex problem solving, and functional skills. These are actually the skills that World Economic Forum found to be really necessary for the workforce in the next years, and it's a growing need. We don't hope that every child that goes to First Lego League would build robots in 10 years. We know that after 2 years of participation, they are more prepared to face the future technological challenges. And if you have been looking at the robot while I've been talking, then the point is proven. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm curious. Who built this very clever robot who wants to commit suicide? It's driving for the edge all the time, living on the edge.
Yes, I understand. It's a standard robot. I actually made the program today very fast. I didn't know what area to have to use, so I made it a little bit random, and I don't know why it wanted to leave the stage.
Okay. Questions?
Hey, is it working? Yeah. So a few years ago, 8 years ago, I'm from school which has like 60, 70 people, and we got these robots. At the first month, there was 10 people in the club, and then it was just me and my friend, and we just stopped going to because there wasn't any good teachers. So if you want to put this into Võrumaa school, then how do we get these people teach this there?
Actually, in Võrumaa, we already have a very good teacher called Triinu Grossman. She's great. But the question is very good. We alone cannot do anything. We need teachers that come with us and work with us to run the program. There are many schools that First Lego League runs great, and there are a lot of schools where it doesn't run so great because teacher is not motivating. And if you said that you and your friend only stayed, out of 70 people, I don't think it's a bad percentage. Imagine if there are schools with thousands of kids, maybe 50 or 100 of them will become engineers in the future. That's not a bad percentage. Yeah, you need to have 2 years at least.
So have you made some research that why programming? Maybe there are more dancers in this way. They would like to be dancers than programmers.
No, we haven't made research in that sense, but when we thought in the beginning that everybody that will be in touch with the robots would want to have a career in robotics or in programming or engineering, we just understood that not everybody are offered the opportunity. Did I somehow answer your question? Or you can find me out later, I can give you some other numbers.
And one last question from Tartu.
My name is Priit, I'm come from Tartu. So do I understand correctly that you want to make a league where people play and compete against each other? Was that the point?
First Lego League is a program where they do compete, not against each other, but with each other for points. And we have been running First Lego League in Estonia for 7 years already. But so far, we haven't made a leap to broader. We have about 100 schools involved, but we want to reach 400 schools.
Okay, understood. Thanks.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Heilo.
Thank you.
And last but not least, we're going to talk about superheroes. So Superheroes Level Up by Eva.
Hello. I'm founder of Superheroes, which is a 4-month program for teenage girls. And what we do there is teach them all the skills they need to become the new generation of leaders. And Level Up was supposed to be the next level of superheroes. But we pivoted, inspired by a quote by Donald Trump, and there's when it gets interesting. What he said was, "I'm the one that matters. What matters the most is me." And we thought, if this is the leader of the free world, then we definitely need to make empathy, collaboration, and critical thinking great again. So Level Up does that, and we also decided that let's not talk about gender any longer. We all need a better future. So Level Up will now be for boys and girls, 16 plus, who are making the most important decisions in their life. Where to go to the university? Should they take a gap year? Should they get their first job, or should they try out as a founder of a company? And how we do that? The program is quite hybrid. So what we do is we have a platform that we want to create where the solvers, which are the mentors, the coaches, and talent managers, meet the seekers. So the boys and girls looking to level up. We also have themed meetups. So this is the offline bit of our initiative, where we then focus on the most important skills rated by the same boys and girls, but also by the talent managers, to make sure that we are really getting the most important bits and pieces out to the kids, making their choices. And last but not least, as I've heard, I just had a bit of conversation with a bunch of talent managers to make sure that what are the skills we're building for the future? And they said, the kids have no idea. We have to first start from talking about preference and thinking for them to think what they're great at by just giving them different tools for self-assessment. So this is also part of our initiative, to make them fully aware what they need to go out to mentors, to go out to coaches and talent managers, to get the first real life experiences. And now we're in the phase where we're really young. We don't have an MVP yet. We don't have a prototype yet. We're doing the heavy validation to make sure we're building the right thing. And this is where we are now and where we seek for funding to make sure that, like I said, we'll make empathy, collaboration, and all the things that are actually needed, whatever, is it STEAM or not STEAM, to make sure that we are not robots, but humans, so smarter and actually bringing value. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Very important skills you are trying to develop. How do you know that it works? How will the world be different after the first 100 kids go through the program?
Well, that's why we are really heavy on validation, to make sure that we go through the data, we talk to schools, we talk to kids themselves, we talk to employers. And the good thing is that because we have the Superheroes Network, which is already 150 kids, which are a lot of collaborators, so we can tap into these networks and make sure that we get all the data and the lessons learned from them.
Hi, I'm Casper. I love the term empathy also, and the president started today with the empathy. I'm curious, is it, do you know, like, can you like learn empathy at any phase in your life? Or is it like, I'm 16 and it's too late, I'm not empathic enough and you like forget it? Or it's like I'm 70 and I can still like change myself and I can start like understanding each other. Like how this curve works, like if there's mathematical curve, when teaching empathy becomes too expensive?
Well, the sooner you start, the better. I would say that's one. The other thing, it's not an isolated skill. So that's why we are trying to be as hybrid as possible in terms of we teaching collaboration. We are talking about what empathy means, by example, by going through experiences. So it's not about teaching as a skill, it's rather teaching through experience and through different methods of working together.
Then my follow-up question would be that if it's the younger the better, why do you target 16 years old? Why not younger?
Because what we want is, it's really popular to talk about self-driving cars. I think we should talk about self-driving people, so self-driven people. And I think with 16, you kind of must start making choices about your life. And that's why maybe we're thinking maybe you're smart enough to take it seriously and also have a pressure from school to kind of push yourself forward and know what you want to do.
Question over. Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Thank you for the pitch. Actually, I was wondering, what do you see that is lacking in today's career counseling? Because it's happening actually face-to-face with kids younger than 16-year-olds that could actually identify the gaps even better than maybe with the technology. So what kind of problem are you solving at this point?
I think the problem we're solving is we're trying to make it very easy and simple. And also one thing that's really important for us is that it's born global, but it's also locally responsive. So born global meaning that you have access to not just coaches and mentors of different specific skills in Estonia, but also elsewhere. So for example, if you're going to a university, say in Cambridge, you'll also have different people there that you can build then bridges to. Same for talent managers, to get your first jobs, to get your first internships.
And we will do 2 more questions over there and here.
First of all, I want to thank you for the perfect pitch. I think that was the best from out of the 6. But the question is, what's the expertise of your team, and how do you think you're the best team to make it true?
Valid point, very valid point. It's 4 of us at the moment, so I'm responsible for the vision for marketing and partnerships. It's also, we have in the team the expertise for building a perfect product. So the whole service design, the whole capability of having the greatest platform we can possibly have. We have also someone to do the finances, to make us sustainable, which is absolutely very, very important. And also the customer experience, to make sure that it's easy and the best fit for the target group.
And last.
Thank you for the presentation. My question is, as I understood correctly, these teenagers will greatly make their life decisions after going through this program. So I wanted to ask, what is the preparation or expertise of the mentors and coaches, so it would be objective what they're suggesting or discussing there with the teenagers?
Incredibly good question. And since we are super young as a team and as an initiative, that's exactly where we are right now, validating that with all the different players to understand how we built that, how we are proving the expertise, and also what certificates, for example, we can give out to the boys and girls so that they can use it, on LinkedIn or applying to university jobs, whatever they consider most important.
Thank you very much, Eva.
Thank you.
So 5 fantastic people, 5 great pitches. The committee will gather for the remaining days to ponder who of them will win the grand prize.